This election, will be problems. They will need protection. Cause it's licks for all of them. The TPP, we able and ready. We looking for victory. It's trouble. It's trouble. The younger world. The younger world. The younger world. It's licks up in Charlottesville. All the way to Patience Hill. When you reach Castara, TPP take over. Go and tell Sham. Make sure you caught. With me voting finger. The time will be over. It's trouble. It's trouble. It's trouble. It's trouble. Give them the anchor. Give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor, give them. We go give them the anchor. Give them the anchor.
people, brothers and sisters of Zion Hill, those of you from Big River, Toko Road, Soldier Chase, good night. Your TPP family is here again, and we have come with good tidings. And before we begin our program, I want to ask you to stand with me as we sing the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago. Belle will do us the honors, please. Thank you very much.
Let us pray. Our gracious and eternal Father, God of love, we thank you for traveling mercy that we could come by here to this meeting. Father, we pray that you'll be with every proceedings that take place this evening. And the end of it all, we can say it's a wonderful night. We pray that you'll continue to bless this organization. We pray that you'll be with all the secretaries and all the candidates that are getting up for that great day, January the 12th, We pray that you will be with the political leader, Brother Farley Chavez. Continue to guide him. Guide his footsteps, oh God. Give him wisdom, give him knowledge, give him the understanding as he lead this country of Tobago. And Father, we pray that this evening will be as we draw even closer and closer. We pray that you will continue to bless us, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Brother Lovell. Thank you very much. Brothers and sisters of Zion Hill, TPP family, you have come to a very special place, to this very important meeting. And tonight, let me recognize our political leader and Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, Deputy Chief Secretary and Deputy Political Leader of the TPP, Honorable Dr. Faith Brebner, and the incumbent for the Glamorgan Belle District. With us we have tonight Mr. Orlando Kerr, the candidate for the Roxborough Argyle. And among us is another woman by the name of Miss Megan Morrison, the incumbent and the prospective candidate for the Goodwood Mount St. George. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to give them a Belle Garden round of applause. Now, whenever we come into a place, I'm talking about the TPP, we come with a message, and when we leave you better than the way you were before we came. And tonight, I want to tell you something, and what I'm going to say might be a little strange. You know, don't vex with me. You know, I kind of like the PNM slogan, Tobago deserves better. And I agree. And I want to ask the PNM, how on earth are you going to give us some of the candidates that you are giving us? Don't we deserve better? Well, we deserve better. That is why tonight, your representative for the Belle Glamorgan district has come. And tonight, I want to recognize some families right here in Zion Hill, the McLeods. I want to recognize the Digotos. I want to recognize the Fosters up the road and the Mannings. Whoever you are, wherever you are, join us right here. And if the Scintillas, big family, big family, the Sergeants, and you just name them, this is a community of TPP people. So tonight, we know we started late, but you have to, and so you have to get the message that we have for you. And tonight, we have a pack. We have a list of top speakers, and we are going to go straight in. Our first speaker tonight is a wonderful woman who in the last 4 years has led the Goodwood Mount St. George district. And you know, time after time you would have seen this woman going and meeting her constituents. And ladies and gentlemen, in the true TPP spirit, join me as we welcome to the lectern Miss Megan Morrison. Bring her on with a hearty round of applause.
The shipping armor, TPP crew, we all there. All you come in. TPP. When you hear the horn song, all about the TPP. Tobago, it is your time now. All about the TPP shit. There is no need to worry. All about the TPP shit. We said it with Captain Valley. All about the TPP shit. Good night, Belle Garden. Please allow me to acknowledge the chairman of the Tobago People's Party, Miss Anne Natasha II, our political leader, Dr. Farley Chavez Augustine, and I said that deliberately. And we have our incumbent for this area, Dr. Faith Brebner, and all other executive members of the Tobago's People's Party, my fellow prospective candidates, and all you wonderful supporters who have come out here tonight to lend your support. We thank you and we appreciate you. I am here tonight with only one purpose: to stand proudly, powerfully in support of a woman whose leadership has shaped lives, strengthened communities, and raised the standard of public service in Tobago. Do we know who that is? Dr. Faith Brebner.
TPP drop the anchor. Let them go.
I had the honor of working side by side with Dr. Faith, both in the House, at the Division of Health, Wellness, and Social Protection. And let me tell you, from the one she led with real openness. No talk, not show, but genuine transparency, honesty, and accessibility. Dr. Fade made real space for me at the table, in conversations, in strategy, in the heart of the work, and in decision making. She shared information openly, trusted her team, and empowered us to lead. That is leadership. That is confidence. That is integrity. And her advocacy, unmatched. She spoke boldly on issues many fear to address: sexuality, mental health, identity, emotional wellness, religion, and real challenge people face day to day. She spoke truth because she knows healing and progress begins with honesty. Her voice made people feel safe. Her courage gave others courage. In the office, in the house, and out in the communities, our partnership stood as living proof of what women can achieve when we choose purpose over egos and partnership over competition. We worked together, we lifted each other, we delivered results for Tobago. We showed that women can share and shape space, lead together, and transform lives. And that, my friend, is why I proudly endorse Dr. Faith Brebner as your representative for the Belgarden Goodwood Glamorgan District. Help me celebrate Dr. Faith Brebner as your next area representative for this Belgarden Glamorgan District.
Mercy.
Not only because she is qualified, but because she's sincere. Not only because she has the experience, but because she leads with integrity. Not only because she has a vision, but because she includes others in that vision and lift them as she rises. With Dr. Faye Brebner, Glamorgan, Belgarden, and environs will have continued representation. Someone who listens deeply, acts boldly, advocates fearlessly, and works tirelessly for every single household, every family, every young person, every community. So tonight, I ask you to stand with me, to believe in her, stand with her, vote for her, because Dr. Faith Brebner is your next representative for Belgarden Glamorgan, the powerful, capable hands that you will be in. So tonight, I want to advocate for your support in this district. As we go forward to the polls on January 12th, let us vote the anchor. Again, we vote in the anchor in support of Dr. Faith Brebner for the next THA election, which will be held on January 12, 2025. I thank you.
Discipline order! TPP crew! We are there! All come in! Come in! When you hear the horn song, all about the TPP ship. Tobago, it is your time now. All about the TPP ship. There is no need to worry. All about the TPP ship.
That is the caliber of women we have in the TPP. That is the caliber of women we have in the TPP. And you haven't heard the best yet. I want to ask you a question. Who is the PNM candidate for this area? Anybody know him? He's invisible. I want an empty chair here for him. Now, let me tell you something. Listen to me good, eh? I want you to sit right here. You know, I invite the fella to come and sit down on the chair. He turned the chair to me, you know. Instead of he turned the chair to the people. He turned the chair to me. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Faith Brebner and I, at a particular time, always had a little banter. Because she thought that I was red, but I was always dark-colored, never red. What she did not know is that before she was born, I was a supporter of Robinson. You heard me? So I have never been in that place. So we always had this very, very healthy banter. And boy, healthy it was. But you know, I know the woman. I know the woman. And I want to tell Belle Garden people tonight, wherever you are, whether you're down in Big River, whether you're up Toko Road, the best candidate for you, the best representative for you is Dr. Faith Brebner and nobody else. I can say that with fear of no contradiction, and I introduce her tonight as your candidate. And all the people, I invite you, come January 12th, 2020 what? Who we voting for? Belle Garden, Glamorgan, who we voting for? All right. I want to call out a few names because they're stray and gone red. And one of them is a fella named Punchin. I want to tell Punchin tonight, we have room for you over here. Come home. Right, ladies and gentlemen, there is a young man among us, a teacher by profession, a man who has served in the assembly as an assistant secretary in various divisions. His name, he's from Delaford. His name is Orlando Kerr. And before I bring him on, let me pause to recognize the arrival of Mr. Trevor Williamson James, a man from Zion Hill, Belle Garden, right to the foot of Zion Hill, you know. And secondly, our secretary of the party, Miss Second. Ladies and gentlemen, chairman of the party, Miss Second. Welcome to Belle Garden, ma'am. It's a lovely place to be. It's the highest altitude in this area you can find. Right. So I want you to join me in bringing on to the lectern Mr. Orlando Kerr.
First, yeah.
Orlando Kerr, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
TPP we voting for. Oh lad, we've been waiting so long. So long I've been waiting for election. So long I've been waiting for voting in the polls. Yeah. So long I've been longing for redemption.
Good night, Belle Garden. Good night, Zion Hill. Let me just recognize our political leader, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, our deputy political leader, Dr. Faith Brebner, our chairman, Ms. Ann Natasha Second, and other members of the executive. Let me also recognize all the prospective candidates who are here tonight. I saw Mr. Trevor James, I am seeing Mr. Clark in the back, and I think I saw someone else, and of course, Ms. Morrison and Ms. Hackett, and all my other colleagues who are here who I have not seen. And of course, let me welcome those of you who are here. This is whether to be home, wrap up in your blanket, or if you don't have the normal blanket, you could use a human blanket. And all those persons who are in Zion Hill who are hearing my voice, if you are in bed, stop what you're doing and give me 10 minutes of your time, because what I'm about to say is very important. So that the time has come again. And they call it the silly season. And they call it the silly season because some people really behave silly in the silly season. Your candidate, Dr. Brebner, phenomenal woman. She's a phenomenal woman. I have observed and I've been looking at Dr. Brebner, and I ask myself, where does she get the energy from? Dr. Brebner attends every single thing that takes place in this district. And I ask myself, where does this woman get the energy from? And that speaks to her commitment to this district. Because that is not something that is easy to do, holding down a division as large as the division of health. Dr. Brebner, outside of performing her duties as area representative, has done a phenomenal job in our health sector in Tobago. Every single person on this island can testify that our health system has Ms. Hackett and all my other colleagues who are here who have not seen. Of course, let me welcome those of you who are here. This is whether to be home, wrap up in your blanket, or if you don't have the normal blanket, you could use a human blanket. And all those persons who are in Zion Hill who are hearing my voice, if you are in bed, stop what you're doing and give me 10 minutes of your time, because what I'm about to say is very important. So that the time has come again. And they call it the silly season. And they call it the silly season because some people really behave silly in the silly season. Your candidate, Dr. Brebner, back to the Chief Secretary now, saying that, well, we know that's not going to happen, but I just want to show you the ridiculousness of some of the things that they are saying. That he is committed to taking the fight to the UNC to secure autonomy for Tobago. And that is such a ridiculous thing. And let me tell you why. 10 years they were in governance in Tobago. And the PNM was in governance in Trinidad as well. Why did you not secure autonomy for Tobago then? You rushed a bill to Parliament hours before an election and expect Tobagonians to accept that. Tobago, let me tell you all something. You all are Tobago. I have taught in Tobago for the last 20-something years, and I know that Tobagonians are smart people. I know that Tobagonians are bright people. I know that Tobagonians know when people try to take you for fool. Because how can you convince somebody that you were there for 10 years with your big brother in Trinidad? You didn't give us it. You're now trying to convince us that if you get power now, you're going to fight with Kamala and get it for us? Serious? Come on. So that on January 12th, as far as I see, there is no other choice but the TPP. That is the reality. On January 12th, there is no other choice but Dr. Faith Brebner for Belle Glamorgan. On January 12th, there is no other choice but Farley Chavez Augustine for Chief Secretary of Tobago. But what I want to ask you to do is to remember this. Votes win elections. So take everybody in your house, and if possible, take your pussycat and your dog too, and go out on January 12th and make sure you jam the X by the TPP and show these people that we're not going back. Tobago is poised for takeoff. We are on the runway. Let us not retard our development by going back to people who don't care about us. So on January 12th, vote for Dr. Faith Brebner, Glamorgan, Belle Glamorgan, and for the TPP and all 15 candidates to continue the development of Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
First, yeah. TPP we voting for. Oh lad, we've been waiting so long. So long I've been waiting for election. So long I've been waiting for voting in the polls. Yeah. So long I've been longing for redemption, redemption, redemption. TPP as we pumping, TPP as we voting. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. TPP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend on PNM. Vote them out, vote them out, vote them out. Vote until they can't stop. Just bring out the family. We voting for TPP.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of Belle Garden, TPP family, I ask you to join me in welcoming our Chief Secretary and political leader. Give him a Belle Garden arrival welcome, please. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a writer that I like. His name is Lanston Hughes. He wrote a piece from mother to son. His mother was a domestic worker in the United States of America, and she was advising him. And this is what she said: life ain't no crystal stair. Son, I have been going into rooms dark, no carpet on the floor, bare. I've been climbing, reaching landings, but we can't stop now. We can't turn back now, bro, son. We must keep going. TPP people, say it with me. We must keep going. We can't turn back now. Now, I'll tell you a little secret, eh? Now, the candidate for the PNM on the other side is a reject of the very PNM that he is now representing, you know. They rejected him in 2013. They rejected him in 2017. And they rejected him twice in 2021. Now, the PNM has reached the bottom of their barrel and can find no candidate. So he is the only man. And we will, on January 12th, we are going to finally seal his fate and send him where he belongs. Almost everything he's involved in has come to naught. You know, he's president of the Glamorgan Village Council. And ask what has become of that. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to have some entertainment now. The entertainer is Splinters. Is he here? Splinters! All right. Just bring him on with a hearty Belle Garden round of applause, please. Thank you.
TPP drop the anchor. Let it go.
Bless up, bless up, bless up, TPP, bless up, TPP, bless up, TPP, bless. TPP a pass through, born to big onions from the grassroots. Them a help all the elders and nurture the youth. Don't tell me about PNM, them gone through. Me say that a new man in the show with the new crew. Farley a push through, they give him 4 years. Me know that is a few, give him 4 more. Now watch what him go do, bless up, bless up. Bless up, bless up, TPP, bless up, sing, bless up, TPP, bless up, TPP, bless up, Faith, big up yourself, Tobago people party, tell them we reach, Folly? That's how we doing it real. No, we not vote for PNM. No time to tongue and deceive. And since we get them out, I'm all blessing we receive. PNM, you can't talk, you treat man like slave. TPP come in and the whole telly. Talk about pothole, but watch over the years. Manipulation we not tolerate. Link up the deputy fate. Civil to Crown Point State. Tobago people party. How will the people rate? How will the people rate? Yeah. Watch we candidate debate. Watch the employment rate now. Tobago development straight. Cause we are roll with faith them now. Pull up. PPP. Oh, you don't know when Splinter come with something new. The only thing we want you is a new candidate in Belle Garden, Glamorgan, sorry, right? So we come with something new. DJ, drop it again. Bless up the area. Bless up BG. Bless up Bago. Bless up Morgan. Say TPP. Say TPP. Me and you know you. Say TPP. Say faith. Bless up. Bless up TPP. Bless. So we tell them, yeah. Yeah. TPP a pass through. Born to be grown young from the grassroots. Them a help all the elders and nurture the youth. Don't tell me about PNM, they've gone through. Me say there, a new man in the shoe. Yeah, yeah, sing. Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. Yeah, Tobago people party. Me say tell them we rich and we rolling with folly. That's how we doing it real. And we not vote for PNM. No time to tongue and deceive. And since we get them out, and more blessing we receive. PNM, you can't talk, you treat man like safe. TPP come in and the place elevate. Them a talk about pothole, but watch over the years. Manipulation we not tolerate. Link up the deputy fate. Civil to Crown Point State. Tobago people party. How the people rate? How the people rate? Yeah. TPP Entertainment. Big up Faith. Mr. Cole. Megan. What? Farley. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up. TPP bless. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, we only had two more speakers and the meeting got done. I vex. I vex. But nevertheless, I am certain what they have to tell you will be of great value. Now, I want to tell you something. This election is, in my opinion, and the opinion of many, the most crucial in all the history of the Tobago House of Assembly. All you help him, help him. Officer, give me a pull out there. Telling me how to go back. Good. Thank you, sir. Now, this election is the most crucial in all the elections in the history of the Tobago House of Assembly. And we have put in train an assembly that has moved the mountain in the last 4 years with all the obstacles facing them. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you tonight, can we turn back now? Can we vote for the PNM now? Can we put back the PNM in office? And when are you going to ensure that they do not get back to office? What are you going to do? How are you going to vote for the TPP? Resoundingly. Andy MacLeod, good night. Welcome home. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring a woman to the lectern to talk with you. She is your incumbent representative and your prospective candidate and representative for the next election, for the next THA after January 12th. A lady who has served and has never stopped serving. A lady who is not afraid, no matter how big the foe might be. A lady who is committed to Tobago and the progress of Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I ask you, join me, stand with me in welcoming to the lectern Dr. the Honorable Faith Brebner.
It shall be steadfast and sure. It must be fastened to the rock. It shall be grounded firm and deep in the Savior's love. Oh, the anchor holds, hold. The anchor holds. Oh, the anchor holds, hold. The anchor holds.
Good evening, TPP family. Let's allow the car to go by. So let's start that again. Good evening, TPP family. Good evening, Belle Garden, Glamorgan. And that runs, even though EBC has given it a very, very funny name, it runs all the way from Ghostboro, by the bridge, all the way up to Kendall Farm School Junction. Good evening, Tobago. So because it is a rainy evening, and because we started a little late, I'm not going to be very long this evening. But I want to take you on a journey with me. Allow me to start that journey a little less than 4 years ago. It started in December 2021, when you, the people of Tobago, selected us to represent you. And you selected us to manage the Tobago House of Assembly. You selected us to manage this beautiful 116 square miles. It was a difficult time. Do you remember? When I became the secretary with responsibility for health, wellness, and social protection, we were smack dab in the middle of COVID-19. As a matter of fact, I remember waking up every morning on that January morning, and it may have been the most difficult January that I've ever experienced. And I would wake up every morning and I would go to my email and I would see the reports from the hospital, the reports of those who died. They were, in many instances, my friends and family as well. But we survived. We went through it. This administration, led by the Chief Secretary, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, took us out of that. The the journey continues. Come along with me. when that same chief secretary who took it upon himself to also be the secretary with responsibility for finance, when he looked at the books, we recognized back then that those who were in power before left a huge debt. It was about $1 billion. You all remember that? And they left that debt for us to pay. When we looked carefully, we recognized that there was just giving out contracts. As a matter of fact, there weren't even real contracts. What we saw were letters that were signed by junior staff, not even an administrator, saying, you get a contract, you get a contract, you go and build a road up there, you go and build a road down there. No specifics, no real information, just a letter that say, all you is with friend and with financer, take this, go and bill, and we will pay you. When we did the checks, we recognized that there were bills for roads that did not exist. All you remember? Yes. Those things happened during that 6-6 period. It happened during the period where the gentleman who is leading the other side, he was chief secretary. You all must never forget that. The time when those contracts, where those, not even contracts, where those letters were given out was around his time. He individually presided over the worst level of mismanagement that we have ever seen in the Tobago House of Assembly. But he and the others are now talking about, if and when you vote us back, we will do this, and we will do that, and we will do this, and we will do that, after his team was there for 21 years showing very little. I ain't gonna say nothing, because that would be unfair. But showing very little. Come along on this journey with me. When we said to the contractors, we're not really paying all you unless we confirm what's really going on, you know, they started threatening us. And this may be the first time we speak about it publicly, but for many of us, our lives were actually physically threatened. There were many of us who had to wonder when we were going in our front doors whether there would be somebody there waiting for us, because we were getting the messages that were sent to us from inside the jail sometime. And let me be careful. You all remember that? And remember when the former PM, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, sent the $100 million and said to give it, all of it, to his one good friend who is a contractor. His one good friend who is a contractor. Come along on this journey with me. All you remember, every time we have something happening on the island, we have these festivities. We're starting with Carnival. We have the activities. And suddenly, with a city boat pack up with white jerseys coming up. White shirts coming up. You all remember that? Every single time there is an opportunity for Tobagonians to make money because we have activities on the island, they show up in their buses and their Prados, and they pull up and they make sure that they terrorize every single one of us. Come along with me. Remember, and this is the one that hurts me the most. Remember when the police started terrorizing us. They went so far as to go inside of the house, not just his father's house in Speyside, but the official residence of the chief secretary. Police went into that house and searched and took. Honorable, did you ever get back your devices? Never.
never got back those devices. And I remember that evening having come home, tired like that, trying to sleep, take off all my clothes, as them who know me know I just be home naked. Take off all my clothes and trying to sleep, and then I hear the sound of the banging on my door. Bang, 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 police. Not banging, let me take that back. Not banging on my door, but banging on the door that my grandfather, Alan Brebner, better known as Cap, put in. That evening, I cried. People think that I'm a tough person, and I am. And I don't frequently cry, I don't. But that evening, when they left, I hold my stomach and I bawled, because I felt it right here. But thank God, we had the power and the strength to fight back. And early this year, having taken them to court, it was vindicated, I was vindicated, and the court said that it was unlawful what they did. It said that the search warrant was unlawful, and therefore the search of my items was unlawful. But as a goodly pastor who is around us says, God will help us. Come along with me. I'm going somewhere with this. Early 2024, when we got up that morning and realized that we had what may have been the worst environmental accident this entire region may have ever seen. That oil spill. And when we tried to get help from Trinidad, it was a battle. As a matter of fact, most of you don't know that the oil that we picked up still in the Studley Park landfill, because they promised us then that they would have gotten rid of it, they would have spent the money, and they would have figured it out. But as we know, it means promises never materialize. And come along with me. Beryl. We have to thank the Most High God that Beryl did not land on us the way it did others. But we had damage. And the government of Trinidad and Tobago actually got insurance money for the damage associated with Beryl. And you know, not 1 cent of that came to Tobago. Come along with me. Come along with me. I'm telling you all of that because I have to continually remind myself when sometimes I think that we have not accomplished anything. I have to also remind my colleagues, because sometimes we beat up on each other because we wore this and we wore that, and it didn't happen in the 4 years. We have to remind ourselves that we came across and we had the kind of opposition that no other administration has ever had. Those 4 years may have been the most difficult 4 years ever. Thanks, Tiantek. I hope that means all you're just here just in case. And not that all you're going and take anybody current. But we have to say thanks to the Most High God, because after going through all of that, this Tobago People's Party administration was still able to accomplish a whole lot. It allowed us right here in Belle Garden, after getting the lowest amount of money for the entire period, And when I tell you the lowest amount of money, let me explain what that means. The Dispute Resolution Commission, which is in essence a group of, in essence, Mr. Hochoy Charles, rest his soul, took the government to court. And that Dispute Resolution Commission basically said that Tobago should be getting between 4.03 to 6.9% of the national budget. And for those 4 years, we got the absolute least amount that we could have gotten by law. And I am sure that those people in Trinidad, if the law was not there, they probably would not have given us a cent. And that is why I am proud to say that even in the middle of all of that attacks, even in the middle of all of those distractions, even in the middle of all of that, this TPP administration was able to give you the following. Thanks to the division with responsibility for infrastructure, we were able to fix a collapsed curb and slip in Kendall. If you go down the river there, you would see an actual bridge that was built there. We've had retaining walls, and as you are coming up Zion Hill, you're seeing the work that is actually being done coming up the hill just right there now. We have been able to do retaining walls in Richmond. We started the work to make Lovers Lane an actual proper road so that we could drive down in the back, going down to the community center if we need to. We fixed that area in front of the Pembroke Anglican School. We recognized that that road was actually dipping. An entire retaining wall was there, plus a pedestrian walkway was included. And of course, we began works in Cow Farm Road in Goldsboro. Now, honestly, did we do everything that we needed to do? No. And if I am honest, did I see Secretary James here? Yes, I saw him passing. If I am brutally honest, he would tell you that Decoto Trace is a name that I speak to him all the time. And I told him that if by the end of the year it didn't happen, I self coming in front of your house to protest. Secretary James, did I not tell you that? But you know, he also reminds me that because of the limited resources that we've had, there are many months he has to make a decision. Pay the development workers or buy material for the same development workers to use. Pay the workers or buy the material. And what he does is make the decision to pay the workers. So sometimes the work that needs to be done does not happen. Thanks to the division with responsibility for community development. Because as Secretary, I must be being prophetic with that one. As Assistant Secretary Kerr said, they have done so much work on refurbishing the community centers that are around, particularly the Belle Community Center. I remember very early up being in that community center for something, I can't remember what it was, and we were sweating so much, and I said to myself, oh God, oh, they're really embarrassing me in this community center. But last week, I went down there for an event last week, and I was actually complaining because it was too cold. So, and by the way, as Assistant Secretary Kerr said, tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. in the Glamorgan/Richmond area, we will be opening that community center. That is one that has been down forever and ever and a day. But that one will be opened tomorrow. Yes, we have the fields to fix. And that is why when someone asked me a couple weeks ago whether I thought I did a good job, I could not have said 10 out of 10. Because I am honest, I know that these things still need to be done. We provided so much employment over the last 4 years. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people were employed. Many of them from this district. As a matter of fact, I just get cussed because people just tell me that I'm only employing people from Belle Garden in health. But that is what we are here to do. And let's look at the social services. We have all of the grants, funeral, rent, business, vouchers, all of those that have been done. Some of you and I will never call your name. We are the ones who've helped you go from having an outhouse to actually having a toilet that you could flush. And that is the kind of work we've been able to do. And of course, I have to speak about the cataract program, because that is one that it's probably the pride of my tenure so far. When I came in, there were so many people who were saying to me, cataract is a simple, simple thing. It's a simple, simple, simple thing, but we cannot see. And we have been able to do over 2,000 of those. And if you are one of them who still need it done, you probably already got called. You are probably already screened, because we are going to start that again soon. But because I knew that there were limited resources, I ensured that we looked at programs that were not just about the outside. And that is why I insisted that we do so many programs that worked on how you deal with procurement, how you develop your business, how do you write a resume, how do you go and get interviewed. Because I realized that, you know what, we still needed to develop those kinds of skills in people in here. And we have to keep doing that kind of work. So I say to you, the Tobago People's Party has survived a whole lot. Yes, when we came in 2021, we did not come in under this banner. We did not come in under this symbol. Oh yeah, let me just say one thing about the symbol. Only remember that for the general election, I don't know what happened with EBC. I'm really not sure what happened with EBC. I'm not saying that EBC was trying to do anything to it. I'm not saying that, but I don't know what happened, and somehow the symbol ended up being a big black box. Only remember that? Well, the good thing is that it's not no big black box again. No, it is actually the symbol. It is actually the symbol of the Tobago People's Party, where you are seeing this outstretched hand that is showing the way the Most High God covers the people of Tobago. And it is showing the kind of unity that we need to keep this going. But that is where you come in, Tobago. That is where you come in to the people of Belle Garden, Glamorgan. You need to ensure that the people who took us through the journey that I explained earlier, you need to ensure that the people who got us to this point, the people who pulled us out of the miasma that was part of that red party, you need to ensure that the people who were able to withstand all of those opposition that we did during that period, you need to ensure that this man that is standing here, who has been the most visionary leader that I know, you need to ensure that he remains as the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. And the way to do it, you know, when we were just after the budget period, I went out and I was telling people about the difference between the tie-up money that those people were giving us, you know, the little bit of money, the money that came with all of the constraints, the money that came with us not being able to do anything. And now we have this thing that we are terming smart money, which is the more money, the 5% at least. The query allowing us to actually export. You all do not understand how much that means to the economy of Tobago. And because we are finally in a place where we are moved from being tie up to being smart, each of you needs to be very careful. Each of you needs to ensure that on January 12th, what date? What date is it? January 12th, that you go out and you ensure that you vote resoundingly for the Tobago People's Party. You have to go out and ensure that you hold on to that anchor. You have to ensure that when you go, you put your X in the right spot. And I hear some people kind of talking about not voting because they're not feeling it, or because they're hearing a whole set of they ain't feel like coming out. But that will only do one thing. That will only ensure that those people who left us with the $1 billion of debt, that will ensure, as a matter of fact, if you stay home, I promise you, you will be putting back the man that presided over that $1 billion of debt back into the chair of Chief Secretary. And there is no way, Tobago, after having taken yourself out of that tie up space, that you should allow yourself to go back into that tie up space. So Tobago, you are the one who needs to anchor Tobago's development. You all hearing me? You all hearing me? I'm not jumping up and down because this is too serious. You are the one who needs to anchor Tobago's progress. You are the one who needs to go out there on January 12th and ensure that you put your X next to the anchor. Because that is the only way. It is the only way we will be able to continue on this journey that we just started. It is the only way, because we have been rocking and we're finally getting a little bit of calm waters. It is the only way you are going to allow us to continue developing Tobago. Because my Chief Secretary said some time ago that the vision for this island is to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. The only way to do it is to vote resoundingly for the Tobago People's Party. I thank you.
Dr. Faith, I heard the travail of the Assembly in the last 4 years. But you know something? The light shone through. You know, and I met somebody in Port of Spain not too long ago, and they said to me that they have an appointment at the Roxborough Hospital to be medically examined. A little hospital up in Roxborough, you know, quite from Trinidad, people are coming. But let me tell you this, Dr. Faith. I leave with you the words of James Russell. And this is what he said. He said, truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne, yet that scaffold sways the future. But behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadow, keeping watch above his own. And indeed he has kept watch over you and the assembly. And I am told that the $1 billion debt is almost paid off. And we have reached that place in the ocean where we can shoot off. So in the next 4 years, welcome Dr. Thomas, welcome Dr. David Thomas. We have a seat here for you, come. The next 4 years, I want to tell the people of Zion Hill, the little painter man from Zion Hill who met me some weeks ago and we were talking, and I gave you the advice what to do. Prepare, take the advice that I gave you and prepare to launch off, right? Because great things are happening. Never be afraid. Now, I want to introduce to you tonight a man, a young man. And when I heard that the Anti-Corruption Investigations Bureau searched the quarters or the residence of the Chief Secretary, I was hurt. Because I had the privilege of leading that organization for quite a long time. And we were fairly successful under my watch. And when I heard what they have done and the manner in which they comported themselves, it brought tears to my eyes. Come along, brother, come along, come along. But I never knew that this little space here, this little 2x4 space could hold so much people in it. Look at people! TPP!
TPP, drop the anchor! Let it go!
Let me sound the warning. This is only the third political meeting. This is the third meeting. And we don't want you to get burnt out, you know, but we want the momentum to grow. And so that on the 12th of January, we will come home with all, how many seats? 2? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Solomon Andrews, good night, schoolmate. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you a faithful servant, a man who has given his life to service. And when I look at him, I remember the words, service is the rent we pay for the space we occupy on earth. And before I introduce him, I just want you to give me one moment of silence for Mr. Ho Choi Charles, who was passed earlier this year, the first Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. 1 second of silence, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the man I'm going to introduce to you, he has home in Belle Garden. He has home in Richmond Point. He has home in Speyside. He's from all over. And on the radio, they call him wee saltfish. In Tobago, we say the chief. But a man who has given himself to service, even if the heavens stutter or the earth reel, freezing cold or boiling hot. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming to the lectern the Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, join with me, please.
Because I'm holding on in order
they are wrong. In a life there will be imbalance. For it is nature's way until judgment day. Weakness ain't got a chance. Playing some cause I realize.
Good night, Belle Garden. Come on, come on. There are more of you here. Good night, Belle Garden. Good night, Tobago. Good night, TPP family. I want to thank all the residents of Belle Garden, Glamorgan, and this electoral district that stretches all the way from Kendall to Goldsboro. I want to thank you for your support these past 4 years. This week will actually be our 4th anniversary in office. And I want to, yes, let's put our hands together and commend the valiant efforts of your area representative, Dr. Faith Bremner. Tonight, I want to anchor my presentation in family. But before I do so, allow me to also recognize present with us tonight our Member of Parliament for Tobago East, Mr. David Joseph Thomas, who is here on the junction with us. Of course, my esteemed colleagues who spoke before me. We heard from the area representative from Mount St. George Goodwood, Ms. Megan Morrison. We also heard from the next area representative for Roxborough, Delaford, in the person of Mr. Orlando Kerr. We also have present among us people like Secretary Trevor James. I know he's originally from Belle Garden. I don't know if he still owns his Belle Garden roots, but his roots are buried deep somewhere here, Secretary James. I know Secretary Hackett is also present with us, and so other members of the executive and of the party who are here, good night to you. As I said tonight, I want to anchor my comments in family, because family is a critical component of what makes Tobago and Tobago special. I feel very much at home here tonight. Our host, Mr. Nurse, says that I have a house in Belle Garden. That is not true. I don't want the Integrity Commission to write me. I own no home in Belle Garden. But I think what Mr. Nurse is alluding to is the fact that my entire maternal family is from this district of Belle Garden, Glamorgan. My grandfather on my mother's side is originally from Glamorgan, and he left Glamorgan as a young man and went to Speyside to live with his father. That's Awesome Pilgrim. My mother started her schooling right here in Belle Garden at the Belle Garden Anglican Primary School, because her mother, now deceased, used to live right down there at Richmond Point. And so I have a whole heap of family right here in Belle Garden. I am a MacLeod. I am related to the Andrews. I related to the Johns. I related to some of the Sylvesters. I related to them Paris. I related to almost the whole of Belle Garden. I'm sure me and Dr. Faith related. And so thank God, when I was looking for a wife, I did not come to Belle Garden, because I sure would have buck up on a cousin of mine. So I'm related to the whole of Belle Garden. And whenever I want me Roku and son, and I know you see me online cooking with me Roku and thing, it has come from Right Wrong by Halbrook, by my cousin wrong there. And I have very fond memories of coming to Belle Garden as a child. Because the Tobago I grew up in was a Tobago where families protected children. And I had a grandmother who did not believe in sending children to overnight by nobody's house. But the one place we used to be allowed to come and stay was by Tantivola, along the road from here. And of course, between Tantivola and Tanti Maisie living on the hill, we will play all between the bushes and enjoy all the kennep and fruits that Belle Garden had to offer. So I'm very much at home tonight.
And that's why I want to talk to you about family, what we did for family protection and protecting our families, and what we hope to do in the future. You must admit that the Tobago we know has changed. And it has changed somewhat not for the better. It has changed because we now live in a Tobago where it's possible to hear of a murder, and more than one in a year. The Tobago we know has changed because it's very possible to hear of a young man or a young woman somewhere involved in a drug trade. We preside over Tobago. We live in a Tobago where we sit here and we have seen our young people being locked up abroad in other Caribbean territories because they left Tobago shores, went to other Caribbean territories, and committed crimes there. We had instances of bank robberies involving Tobago youth in other Caribbean territories. We had instances of Tobago youth being caught on the high seas with drugs. And that is why Tobago, in this campaign, we are saying to you, it requires the effort of every single Tobagonian to pull this island back and to work towards making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. And yes, I am the first to say that every area representative must give an account of their stewardship, of the delivery of service to their people. And there is work for our area reps to do. But I want you to know that there is also work for the larger Tobago community to do. Because we have to return Tobago to a place of peace and safety. A place where family actually means something. You know, the thing that bothers me most about this island is that you will drive around this island and you will see some derelict homes in some of the most beautiful locations, beautiful scenery. And when you ask about why they leave this house to rot, you start to hear, well, it's a family bacchanal. That is not the Tobago we should have. It must be a Tobago where we all support each other and where we spend time protecting our families and our children. That must be the Tobago that we must fight for. And if we are honest with ourselves, the last 21 years or 21 years prior changed how we look at ourselves, changed our desire for hard work and for industry, and our desire to build out our island. The Tobago that we all grew up in is a Tobago whereby we produce some of the brightest minds this country has ever seen. If you think about it, this island produced one president, 2 prime ministers, although the second one wasn't good at all. We produced 1 chief justice. We produced the first local governor of the central bank. We have produced some of the best journalists in the world, award-winning. We have produced commissioner of police. We have produced presidents of Pantrimbago and cultural groups in the country. In fact, Beverly is not even the first. If you think about it, we have produced some of the best people pound for pound anywhere in the country, notwithstanding how small we are as a population. And we have to do something in the next 4 years to not just rescue our young people and our families, but to put Tobago on a trajectory where we all work towards building this, the greatest little island on the planet. We have to get back to that. And so over the last 4 years, through the division of health, wellness and social protection, we provided support like never before. Yes, like never before. And I want you to know what we inherited. We came into office while COVID was still going on, and 3/4 of the island still waiting on the COVID grant that you sign up for. He's never got it. And when we came into office, we decided we will streamline, first of all, our food card program. We inherited a food card program that gave you a one-off $500 spend. You know what we decided to do? We moved it from just $500 to now you can get between $500 and $1,500. All based on the size of your family. So if your family has 5 people, you can get $500 the same way a family of 2 will get $500. And I assure you that we fixed the program so no area rep. I am chief sec, and I never see a food card since I come into office. Because I'm not walking around with food cards trying to buy votes with food cards. That is PNM style of politics. Our style of politics is to feed you, teach you how to feed yourself, and leave you to make a decision for yourself. We don't bribe our way into office. We work our way into office, and we educate people on our way into office. And then when we are done fixing the food card problem, we looked at the fact that many Tobagonians actually are struggling to support their families to the extent that when someone dies, they can't bury their dead. And yes, we know that the original policy has limitations, but so many Tobagonians can't get past the $7,500 that they get from NIS to bury their dead. And it's the same division of health, wellness, and social protection that will come time and time again with exec council notes, begging the exec council to approve support for families who fall outside of the policy and just need to find a dignified way to bury those who are deceased. We have been doing that. Many of you know if it was the other party, you will not get that support because you are in mid-policy. But we changed the policy and fixed that. But we didn't just care about people who were dying on the island. We care about people who are being born on the island. Because when we look at the statistics of our island, we used to get, on average, every year, 900 plus births per year. 900 plus. And somebody tell me that since Jason Nancy stopped making children, the number's gone down. But do you know what is the average now? We moved from between 900 and 1,000 births per year. We now have just over 400 births per year on the island. That is not a recipe for economic development and growth. Our population is too small, and we are just not producing enough children. And so, you know what health, wellness, and social protection did? They decided that every single baby born in Tobago must receive what is now known as a baby box. You get everything from booty to Pampers to breast pump to maternity pads to chemise, every single thing you need for your newborn. And that to us is a signal that as a government, we are prepared to take care of you when you're born all the way to when you are deceased. That is what a good government is about. Protecting families, uplifting families. This same division has also given out more business grants, more small business grants than health, wellness, and social protection has ever delivered to the people of Tobago. So that those little parlors in the villages, those single mothers, those who don't have a very formal business system can also get a chance. You can't get a loan, but you could get a small grant from health so that you can stock your business and be on a pathway to self-sustainability. that is supporting. And not only are we providing that to families, when we came into office, that grant was $7,500. You know how much is that grant now? $15,000. $15,000. So when they ask you where the money and them finally get gone, show them how we move business grant in health from $7,500 to $15,000. Show them how you never used to get a baby box. You never even used to get a bottle to feed your baby from anybody. Now you're getting a baby box. Show them how you could get $1,500 now in food card or food support. And the secretary told me to expect a policy sometime because they're going to carry it up from $1,500 to $2,000 for the food support. And then, on top of that, when we came into office, we thought about the people who were most vulnerable in our society. And then we looked first and foremost to our CPEP and our URP workers. And I say, I want those of you who are employed in CPEP and URP to be honest with yourselves. Most of you were not hired by us, but we did not fire you. Instead, what we did is that we came into office and we increased your salaries by 100%. Because we said the most vulnerable among us must get support. So when they ask you where the money gone, we started paying CPEP and URP workers more. And we did not need any instruction from Trinidad to do that. And if Trinidad couldn't tell me how much to pay CPEP and URP workers, Trinidad can't tell me to shut it down. This is not Kelvin Charles and Keith Rowley. This is Farley Chavez Augustine. I take my orders from these 116 square miles. My orders don't come across the waters. But go and ask Kelvin Morris, who does write his speech. He does have to come up on a plane every month for him to read. Ask Ansel Dennis, who does give him instructions. If he ain't get a phone call and right now he confused, he ain't know if he leader is Penny or still Rowley. But I know who my leaders are. And I know who are giving me instructions. And they are the people of Tobago, the 60,000 strong of us. And so, we raised their salaries. And I can recall when we raised their salaries, a technical officer from the Ministry of Finance called my then administrator to ask, who give we permission to raise CPEP and URP salaries? And I said to my administrator at the time, I said, go and tell that woman that Imbert nor Rowley can't instruct me on how much to pay my people. My people deserve a living wage, and we'll pay them a living wage. They deserve a sustainable program. And that's why when you look at URP today, if you cannot afford to get an expensive coffin or casket, check URP. Yes. If you want some nice kitchen cabinets, check URP. Yes. If you want some good work benches, check URP. Yes. If you want good quality food, go up Roxborough and see what they're planting up in Roxborough under the leadership of Mr. Roland Murray. Because we are insisting on making that program sustainable. And more than that, we recently signed an MOU with the National Training Agency. And that MOU is for us to now come within the Tobago House of Assembly space and take all of our tradesmen and women on island who are not certified and get them certified. How are we going to do that? You know how plenty of our tradesmen learn trade by apprenticeship. So you come out of school, you ain't get no passes, and mommy or daddy tell you, go and work with a man. You work with a man for 5 years, 7 years, and over that time, you learn the skill. You become the best carpenter, the best electrician, the best plumber, the best mason, and so have you. But you never went anywhere to get a formal certificate to be recognized formally. What we are doing right now is that we are engaging the National Training Agency with a program that will come and give you some practical tests to do. You say you're an electrician, wire up this place, let me see what you're doing. And once you can prove that you know what you are doing practically, you will be issued with a certificate that is highly accredited, so you can now move on from a laborer to being a skilled employee. You can move on to starting your own business with an accredited certificate. That's what we're doing. Improving lives, improving skills of individuals. We have also started preparing for the next 4 years to engage insurance firms so that Tobago will have the largest trust fund in the entire Caribbean region. And how are we going to do that? We are proposing that for every person born in Tobago, born by Tobagonians, that we will put into a trust fund some monies for you that individual can only draw out or draw down on from the age of 21, which means that by the time that child becomes 21, there is some monies there for education or to start a business or to put as down payment for a home, but to start your adult life. And so we are working with the actuarians to ensure we come up with a foolproof, a sturdy trust fund program so that once you are Tobagonian born, you know that this government is prepared to make an investment into your future. That's how we protect families. Now with that, I expect some people to go and make more children. So the birth rate will go up. You see here, country people, one from nothing, one from one leave nothing. Country people like children. When I make the extra children, I will send them up country by all here. I will send them Belle Garden, so they're going to take care of them for me. But our island right now is at a crossroad. We are at a crossroad because we have to find ways to close rank as an island. This is not the time to allow outsiders to drive a wedge among us. We have to close rank. We have to close rank even as we invest in each other. We have to close rank in ensuring that we protect our children. We cannot have a Tobago where we have young men and young women being abused, struggling with sexual abuse and sexual predators. It is time for us to understand that if we want the greatest island on the planet, it's not more police we need, but we need stronger communities who will run predators out of their communities. Make it difficult for predators to live in your home and to attend your church. Let them know that God don't like predators. They have to be born again. We have work to do in building out this society. So when I come to Belle Garden and tell you I want to talk to you about families, it's because we understand that family is the bedrock of this society. That if we don't put certain provisions in place to protect the people of Tobago, to protect our children and our women, then we'll run into problems. Let's look again, same division, health. Right now, they are close to completion of a purpose-built facility to treat with the children who are taken away by the courts or by the state from parents who cannot take care of the children. The first ever purpose-built facility is happening now under the leadership of Dr. Bremner. So very soon, we move them from where they're renting all over the place and put them in a secured location. That is how we protect families. That is how we protect young people. We are willing to work with NGOs and have been working with NGOs who are seeing about battered and abused women. We have been working with NGOs seeing about men and men's health and mental wellness. because we are insistent that we build communities that are resilient and that are strong. Belle Garden, beyond families, in this district, you can expect some massive infrastructural works. I know Deputy Chief Secretary spoke to you about Decoto Trace, but what she did not tell you is that Secretary James, who is originally from Belle Garden, and his team, they have already completed the design work for Bad Rock so that we can repair what needs to be repaired at Bad Rock so that the eastern villages will never be cut off from the rest of the island. We have to fix Bad Rock because that's the main carriageway, especially for the large buses. That's the carriageway for the gas trucks and all of the big cement trucks and construction equipment. So we have to fix that roadway. That's critical. And I can tell you now, that is a multi-million-dollar investment. But the people of Belle Garden, Glamorgan deserves every penny. They deserve millions of investments too. In fact, I already tell Secretary James, he built us some nice things in town. I want nice things in country too. Let him forget is right up in Zion from. Because if you forget, we got just block the road down so. We have also been investing right in this district in education. I don't know how many of you know, how many of you families know that you can go to Kendall Farm School and you can acquire a full degree right there at Kendall Farm School that is certified by the University of Trinidad and Tobago. This administration did that. This administration sat with UTT. We signed an MOU. In fact, I accompanied Secretary Pantin to EKIAF, which is part of UTT. We signed the MOU, and now UTT is offering their programs all the way up to the degree level and even postgraduate right there at Kendall Farm School. So Kendall Farm School is not just a place to go and pick up some cheap eggs, but it's a place to go and pick up some degrees. That is how you protect families, by providing education for our young people, education opportunities. So your families, your young people, they don't have to jump on a plane, they don't have to go to Trinidad, you don't have to look for rent for them in Trinidad. They could stay right at home in Belle Garden. How much for a drop from Zion Hill Junction to Kendall? About $6? Is so much a short drop reach now? So expensive? Lord Jesus. Thank you, Tobago, for making me chief sec so I don't have to catch car again. But it's just a short drop from your home. You can get a university degree. That is performance. That is progress. That is how you develop families. That's how you develop families. And so in this election, you have to do some introspection about what really makes us Tobago. What makes us Tobagonian. And why we should be proud of who we are. And why we shouldn't allow outsiders to come and dangle things in front of us. This election has to be about how we protect families. And I am proud, having looked at the draft work already completed, to say that on New Year's Day, when we present the blueprint for this island, that you too will be proud that Tobago will be placed on a trajectory that is only upward bound, that is bound for progress, a pathway to prosperity, a pathway to development for our families, a pathway to protection for our young people, a pathway to turning villages into advanced societies. That's what this is about. This election is not about jokes. This election, I don't even want to call the opponent's name too much. This election has to be about how we build out the greatest little island on the planet. And so every night when I come to this platform, you can trust that you will not hear bacchanal from me. You can trust that this platform will not be a platform for personal attacks. You can trust that if any of my members descend into personal attacks, I will have to deal with them, and I will deal with them. That this platform must be about how we are going to continue building the island of Tobago into the greatest little island on the planet. And if you're a TPP member, you must appreciate education. Our platform must be a platform that educates small communities like this. Belle Garden is a beautiful place. Glamorgan is a beautiful place. Pembroke is a beautiful place. The few people living in Gosbo, you are beautiful too. All our communities and what we have been able to do, how we have been able to live, how we have been able to support each other. I thank God that we still live on an island where you could send your child along the road to the shop and nobody ain't going to interfere with them. I thank God that the people in Belle Garden could sit out on the porch, comfortable that gunman ain't going to run in the place. I am happy that we still have communities like Belle Garden, where people love each other, where people share with each other, and where even the people who no longer belong to Belle Garden, like myself, could come back and get some good fruits and provision and roko and all the things I want for my kitchen. I want to thank you, Belle Garden. Thank you, Glamorgan. Thank you, Pembroke, Gosbrook, Kendall, for your support, your unwavering support for Dr. Faith Bremner. You know her. She's proven. She explained what she was able to do and what she was unable to do. She has been honest with you. She is available to you all the time. Give your support to Dr. Bremner. In this campaign on the ballot paper, you see chalk and you see cheese. I don't know if you're going to leave chalk, so if you're going to leave cheese to go and vote for chalk. This election is about serious business, not gimmicks. It has to be about those who are proven to be best for the development of our community. I've watched Dr. Faith and her work with the Police Youth Club right here in Belle Garden, long before she became a secretary and deputy chief secretary. In fact, she didn't even win her seat the first time. And I watched Dr. Faith work and work with community groups, having not won her seat. And if you know what they used to pay a counselor in those days, you will know it's just a stipend she was working for. But she did it because she loves people, because she loves you, her community. And now is your time to return or to reciprocate the love that she has for you. I want to thank you, Belle Garden Glamorgan, for your support. Thanks so much of you who came out of your houses on the hillside to listen to us this evening. But this is not what's going to win the election. What's going to win the election is just getting up early on the 12th of January and making our way to the polls and voting resoundingly for the anchor. This anchor holds. You have to pull out your neighbors. You have to pull out your friends. You have to pull out all your family and them. And Belle Garden, don't make me have to waste time to drive to Belle Garden to pull out my family and them because you say you're staying home and not voting. Come out and vote. Don't let me have to drive in here on Monday the 12th of January for all you. Come out and vote. This is Cousin Farley telling you, come out and vote. Forget where you feel you didn't get personally. Come out and vote. Your community benefited handsomely and greatly. Come out and vote for your community. Come out and vote. We are all in this together. We have challenges that we will face down in the coming years. And as I said before, on January the 1st, when we deliver our blueprint for the development of this island, I assure you, you will see a Tobago in the next 4 to 20 years that is a better Tobago than the one we inherit. You gave them 21 years, and this is what we have. Mash-up roads, hillsides coming down, no response to coastal erosion. I am saying, give us the additional time and let us continue the great work we have been doing, because each good turn each good term also deserves another good term. I thank you, Tobago. I thank you, Belle. Thank you, Glamorgan. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you, Pembroke. Thank you, Gosborough, and all the others who are here tonight. Together, we will build out the greatest city island on the planet. Thank you, and God bless.
Belle Garden people, I have two people standing with me here tonight. I have two people standing with me here tonight and an empty chair on my right. I want to ask you a question. For the Belle Garden Glamorgan district, who is the candidate? Who is the candidate? Who we voting for? Come, Dr. Faye, take your seat.
So the seat gone?
The seat gone, man. He gone long time. Now, for the Chief Secretary, the man who has stood tall. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to charge you. Remember, you cannot win the vote, you cannot win the election by staying at home. Come out and vote resoundingly for our continued Chief Secretary, Fale, Chavez, Augustine. And let me say to you tonight, get to your homes safely. Thank you all very much for coming. You have been a wonderful audience. And we will let you know when our next meeting will be. Thank you very much. Good night.
Our next meeting will be Saturday night in Signal Hill, Patience Hill, by Bob's Supermarket. So Saturday night in Patience Hill by Bob's Supermarket.
First, yeah. TPP we voting for. Oh, lad, oh, lad. We've been waiting so long. So long I've been waiting for election. So long I've been waiting for voting in the polls. Yeah. So long I've been longing for redemption, redemption, redemption. TPP as we pumping, TPP as we voting, TPP as we pumping, TPP as we voting. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. TPP as we voting, TPP as we pumping, PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping, PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them. We voting on PNM. PP as we voting, TPP as we pumping. Come bring out the friend and them.